going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to today's video, which is again shot in the coldest, darkest garage on YouTube. I've got a couple of repairs to do to the Trans Am that's up on jack stands right now. In the last video, I just finished the Strange Engineering 12-bolt install, and I found some problems with the brakes on this. The parking brakes, there's star adjusters on it, like a drum braking system. I didn't adjust them out wide enough, so they actually make contact with the inside of the rotor head. I've got to adjust those. I'm also going to replace the rear passengers and rear driver's side brake calipers, and I got some new parts in for the power antenna. So if you know a lot about these cars, you know that they have some prone problems with the window motors, power antenna motors, headlight motors. Basically anything that's got gears and power to it could be problematic, and my car is no exception. I do have one other thing to bring up right now. I'm doing another giveaway. I teamed up with Gup from Power Cruise Promotions. They do events all over the world, and specifically they come to Minnesota once a year to Brainerd International Raceway, and they hold an event there. It's Power Cruise USA. This will be Power Cruise 2020. I believe it's the 11th one that they've done in the United States, and I've gone to 4 or 5 of them now. It's a really, really good time, and Gup was kind enough to give me one driver's entry to give away to one of you guys. So if you do intend on coming to this, if you get into the contest, it's very easy to win. You gotta do 2 things. You gotta check out this video. It's Minnesota Was Rowdy at Power Cruise USA 2019. Here's a thumbnail of it. Go to this video on my channel, drop a comment down there of what event you're most excited for. Whether it's roll racing, drag racing, power cruising, burnout competition, drifting, whatever it is, your name gets entered into the contest accordingly, and you'll be eligible to win. So the only stipulation is that you have never been to Power Cruise before. This is a way to get somebody new that's been talking about going or interested in going, but never had that push that they need to come and check it out. It's a really good time, and if you can follow those 2 steps, you could win. It's gonna be that easy. A few people have already commented, so it could be you. All right, first things first, I'm gonna get to work on that power antenna, and I guess we'll see you guys in the car. Oh, yes. How about that? Alright, so I did get the correct lug nuts. These are 1/2 inch by 20, as well as the rear driver's and rear passenger side brake caliper. These are Duralast products. This is pretty straightforward. These ones actually came with the caliper bracket as well, which is this piece right here. The sliders are pre-greased. They came with new clips. So I'm gonna go ahead and grease what should be greased on these and install the new brackets in addition to the new calipers on the driver and passenger side. I'll get the car up in the air real quick. This is gonna be pretty straightforward. I'm gonna follow the same sort of install video that I did last time. The only thing to beware of if you haven't done this before is where the brake hose actually mounts. There's a crush washer that goes on each side of the brake hose. Just make sure you don't stack them and double them up. So that little clip will give you the general idea of what I have to do on both sides. Now right now, I'm on the passenger side of the car. I'm gonna take the star adjuster here and I'm gonna adjust it out a little bit. Now if you're familiar with drum braking systems, they're auto-adjusting, but on an F-Body's parking brake systems, they have a very similar star adjuster, but it's not automatically adjusting, so you have to manually do it. So as you saw the parking brake shoes squeeze against what would be the rotor housing like that, it didn't squeeze it quite enough, which is why I have a very sloppy parking brake cable. So that's one mistake that I made. This is something I learned about this. I assumed I knew what I was doing, but I was wrong. Now when I put the rotor hat on, it goes on and off very easily. So the GM factory manual recommends is that there's 3 millimeters of tolerance between when the parking brake lever is idle and when there's tension put on it. So I'll show you what that is. So if I put my hat on all the way, there's probably just over 3 millimeters of tension on it. I'm gonna snug it up just a little bit, and I bet you that it's actually gonna take all that tension right out of it. So 3 millimeters is almost nothing. If you look at a 3 mil socket, it's almost nothing. So I'll adjust the star adjuster a little bit on both sides to 3 millimeters, and that should take care of my problem with the parking brake cable being loose. Just about to finish up the driver's side, had a slight hiccup. There was a missing banjo bolt and crush washers for this side. Now, I would definitely not recommend reusing the crush washers, if anything. They do, in my opinion, kind of form to fit. Maybe you could reuse them one time. I'm not going to chance it, so I'm going to run to AutoZone real quick and pick up some new crush washers and the replacement banjo bolt that was missing from my new caliper. And I'll see you guys back in a little bit and finish up the installation. I'm leaking fluid out of what seems to be the piston. I don't know, I'm gonna have to try it again tomorrow. Alright, so I'm now on like day 3 of doing this caliper job. It took a couple days to get this in. I ordered it on a Sunday night. The people at the auto parts store were good enough that I called at like 9:05. They closed at 9 o'clock. They still answered because they recognized the number from me calling with an issue earlier. So big shout out to them, they did make it right. Again, this was not shipped with a banjo bolt or crush washers, which is strange. 1 out of 3 calipers I got did come with a banjo bolt and crush washers. Typically they do, I thought. So anyways, they were good enough. They gave me a couple copper crush washers, and I'm just gonna reuse the banjo bolt. And when my better half gets off of work, I'm gonna have her give me a hand bleeding the brakes, and hopefully this piston does not piss brake fluid everywhere, because that would be, I'd probably be at the end of my straw. I don't know what else to do. It's just reman stuff. So I guess it happens once in a while, but I'll get this swapped out real quick. We'll cut right back to bleeding the brakes, and hopefully it stays dry this time. So that was a nightmare of a brake job. Out of 3 calipers that I bought for this car, 3 of them had problems. 2 were missing the banjo bolt and copper crush washers, and the 3rd one leaked out of the piston on the passenger side. Now, Since last night, as you saw there, my lovely assistant came and helped me bleed these brakes, and we got them running, and we got it working. Nothing seems to be leaking since it sat overnight. So what I'm going to do is get this thing running for the first time this winter, make sure the rear end's spinning. I'm going to check my parking brake / emergency brake pads, make sure they're going to hold the rear end, and I'm going to make sure my calipers are working in the back. Have it, guys. Got the car back in one piece. I almost put it into a snowbank. That thing understeered so bad. I'm used to driving trucks in the winter. I've never really driven a F-body or anything with Mickey Thompson drag radials on the back and some bald all-season type tires on the front. I would not recommend it, but I may try tire chains on it. That would give me more year-round capability out of it, so stay tuned for that, I guess. But anyways, that's about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little bit, and that it's okay to make mistakes doing this stuff. I've never installed the 12-bolt in one of these, so there's a couple things that I had to dial in as soon as I was done here. It was kind of a learning experience, and I'll definitely do it a lot quicker next time, I guess, if and when there's a next time for me. But if anything, it sounds like a lot of you guys are more motivated to do it now, so thanks for dropping your comments. I'm glad it's getting you more interested in getting out in the garage and trying something that maybe you're not sure if you're able to do or not, but anything's possible if you do it a bite at a time. And that's enough of me rambling on and on. I'm going to fire up the heater over there, and I'm going to start clearing out all the nooks and crannies and the wheel arches and everything, because I don't want any salt or snow or moisture sitting in anything. I got a bunch of it off already, but I'm sure there's more hidden, so I'll take care of that and let you guys go. Don't forget to take a shot at winning that Power Cruise entry. It doesn't cost you anything. All you've got to do is drop a comment. Super easy. You just got to be a subscriber. Like I said, drop a comment on that video that was in the thumbnail, the beginning of the video, the last year's edit that I made for Power Cruise, and you can get hooked up. So we can thank Gut for that. That's going to about do it for today's video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.